What is going on, guys? This is Daniel, and today I'll be bringing you my Indiana Pacers offense observations. They retained Paul George at the trade deadline, so this will likely be a playoff team. So let's take a look at what caught my eye from their middling 14th ranked offense. In early offense, sometimes they'll start it off by swinging the ball and going into motion strong, where there will be a double staggered screen for the wing in the corner, and here it gets Glenn Robinson an open three. I like how they run this double staggered screen to actually try to get an open look, and here again Robinson drains a three off of it. Some teams use the double staggered screen in motion strong simply to set up a play, but the Pacers actually go to it as a viable scoring option. What the Pacers do more frequently in early offense is to simply go to a quick pin down for Paul George, and here when Wiggins goes under that screen, George can rise up and hit the three. This is a great way to get it to George early in the shot clock in position to score, and it's amazing how often the defender will go under that screen, giving George a clean look at three. But even when Wiggins goes over the screen, George is very adept at hitting that mid-range shot. Look at how open George gets Thaddeus Young, as coming off the screen, a bunch of Wolves collapse on George, leaving Young open. He could have shot the three, but instead he drove. The Pacers will also set a double staggered screen early for George, and this is similar to motion strong without the swing, and this time George can curl it and get a layup. This stuff isn't clever, but sometimes you have to keep it simple stupid and run Paul George off some screens, and here he finds Myles Turner on the roll. This is a very typical Pacers offensive possession, where here they'll actually set up a double staggered screen for Teague, as they'll give it to George, and as he comes off the screen, the Knicks will switch a guard onto Young, so the Pacers will take advantage of this mismatch, post Young, and when he gets doubled in the post, Young finds Turner for the mid-range. Speaking of Teague, he has a really nice hesitation crossover which he'll on occasion use in early offense. It looks like he's going to pass the ball, get into the offense, but instead he crosses it over and gets to the rim. And here he finds Young for a layup. I remember 2 or 3 years ago he did this on one specific occasion I remember for the Hawks, and it's a really nice change of pace move in early offense. Moving on to the half court, and they run a double drag ball screen for George, which is nice, where he comes off 2 screens handling the rock, and here he drives and dishes to Young for the corner three. What's nice about this play is that they'll either put Teague or Aaron Brooks as one of the screeners, both quick point guards, so if their man helps out in some sort of way, George can kick it out, and Teague in this scenario can easily attack a closeout and hit the floater inside. Monte Ellis will also get a few cracks at this double drag screen, and here he gets all the way to the basket but misses. Against Ellis, probably the best way to defend this play is to have a guard go under both screens, but that's tougher than it sounds with all the bodies in the way, but it's better than having someone trail Ellis, allowing him to break down the defense, which he does here, though Turner blows the layup. They like this set for Al Jefferson, and it's essentially just a cross screen for Jefferson, but it works well, and here he gets it inside where he can score. Again, they run this set, and a few years ago, spacing was a huge deal in the NBA. I would point out, oh, look at this team spacing. Now it's the expectation, but it still should not be overlooked, as here they space well on the Jefferson post-up, and it allows him to kick it out to Aaron Brooks. This is a concept I'd like to see teams use more often, and they'll get it to George at the high post, and he'll drive, and while he drives, there's going to be a down screen on the weak side, and what it does is it occupies 2 weak side defenders. So when George drives, Lopez is going to step up to protect the rim, but Gibson is out of position to drop low to prevent the dump off pass to Turner because he was guarding the down screen, and here Turner gets a dunk. Here's a quality screen the screener set. George will set a back screen for Turner, and this could result in a lob. Then George will get a down screen to the top, and when the Bulls miscommunicate on defense, 2 guys go to George, leaving Robinson open, and he takes advantage. Sarcasm aside, now let's break down a brilliant play where Robinson does convert. Robinson first fakes a ball screen, which could get Harden out of position as he may hedge or try to switch. Then at the same time, Lavoy Allen clears out to the strong side. This leaves the entire backside open. Robinson gets the back screen, and it's an alley-oop. Another play I really like is when Turner ball screens for George. It's a two-man game involving their two best players, and here Turner pops for a 3 where he's shooting 36% from beyond the arc. And the thing is, Turner can pop for jumpers, but also roll to the basket effectively, making it very tough to defend. This is good offense. George gets the pin down from Turner, which I showed you earlier, and then they'll immediately float into a screen and roll together, and when the Rockets switch, Turner can post up the smaller Ariza and take advantage. They should run this Turner-George pick and roll more often, and here's actually a set where they'll get it to George at the elbow and then have Turner screen for him there, and when the Knicks switch, Turner can draw a foul inside. They'll occasionally run the Teague-George pick and roll, and this is tough to stop, and Wiggins, who's guarding George here, does not want to leave George, so Teague gets a drive toward the middle for the floater. Same thing again, and Teague gets a good look. The Knicks attempt to switch this here, but the communication is poor and George is open on the pop, allowing him to drive to the rim and finish over the defense. What makes this play effective? Paul George. Here the Knicks switch it precisely, but Paul George is now posting up a point guard, and that's easy for him. But their offense isn't all great, and they have too many possessions like this, where yeah, you have a pin down for George, but the Bulls switch it with no consequences, and there's a lack of purpose going on here. They end up running a pick and roll toward the end of the shot clock, and Teague takes a long 2, and the team in general takes too many mid-range shots. So Nikola Mirotic is guarding Kevin Seraphin on this play, and the Pacers see this and decide they must dedicate the whole entire possession into getting Seraphin a post-up, and it's slow, things aren't crisp, and when Seraphin finally does get the post-up, he eventually passes it out, and George takes a poor shot at the end of the shot clock. Their offense lacks a certain level of creativity, and again, they go after the Seraphin-Mirotic mismatch, and what they should do is, if they want to post up so bad against Mirotic, have Seraphin set a cross screen for Al Jefferson, a far better post player, try to get that switch. Instead, they again try to force feed Seraphin, and it results in a truly horrible shot. Well, there you have it, guys. I know there's been a lack of videos on this channel recently, but that's only been because my microphone was malfunctioning. I got a new mic, so expect frequent videos in the near future. I can't wait. Part 2 on the Pacers defense will be coming out within a few days. Thanks for watching this one, and I'll see you then.